Welcome to another class of PowerPoint. In this class, I'm going to cover everything that you need to know about illustration, customizing them, links, and also the comments. So, as we're going to cover everything in this class inside of Insert menu or Insert ribbon, make sure not to skip any part because I'm also going to be showing you how you can format your elements or illustrations and how you'll be able to manage them inside of your workspace. So, without any further ado, let's move on to our class by opening up PowerPoint on our device. As you can see from my screen, I have opened up PowerPoint. The first thing that you have to do is go off to a new slide, which I've already created, but if you did not yet, I would suggest you just create one more again. First off, go off to the Insert menu or the Insert ribbon. You will find out illustrations, links, and comments, and the rest of the stuffs we're going to cover up in the next class. So let's start off with the first one, which is one of the most simple and one of the most basic illustrations, shapes. So this shapes option is basically the same one which you see on the home menu. So this is basically the same. This one, go off to insert, go off to shapes. You can see it is basically the same. You'll be able to create shapes and also the text box. Text box, go off to insert, shapes. There we go, we have shapes too. But you can see we have our text box over here. So I'm just going to type in something, let's say quick brown fox jumps. Okay, I'm just going to put it right there. I don't want it to be too big over here. So there we go. We have our text and we also have our shape. Now, the next thing that we're going to need to know is about the icons. So icons are Microsoft Office Suite offers you, let's say, a vast amount of icons to use. There are both free and there are both not free or which you have to basically pay for. So you have to basically take a premium version of the Office Suite, which you have to use to actually get access to all of these features of Microsoft PowerPoint. So when you see that the icons option or the icons platform open up, this is how it should look like. But one thing you have to make sure is that you are connected to the internet and you have stable internet connection. Another thing that you have to keep in mind is that if you are using an older version of Microsoft Office Suite, not 365 or lower than 2019 or lower than 2020, it's going to not have this feature of icons of stock images. So one advantage of using icons is that it has a vast amount of icons and it's just going to keep on loading. And obviously there are premium icon packs too. Now, one thing is that you can also search for the type of icons you want to use. Let's say maybe I want to use something related to a man. So if I just search, there we go, it has been related to a man. If I want woman, hit on enter and it's obviously going to give me woman related icons too. So I'm just going to wait for a bit until it is showing me the data. And obviously if it does not have it, it's not going to show you anything. So let's say maybe I want something tree related. So I'm going to wait for a bit until it shows up on my screen. There you go. You can see we have trees. I can also search for woman. Cut this off. Woman. And then I'm going to wait for a bit. So basically you can see that we have our woman too. So there you go. You have the icons back. You can use them anytime you want to. And obviously I can assure you that it's not going to disappoint you. And obviously there are a lot of these categories which you'll be able to search from. Let's say something related to holidays. It's going to give me something related to holidays so you don't have to worry about it. You just have to basically wait for a bit. There you go. We have holidays, we have sports, commerce, process, medical, communication, and so more. So after you're done, just make sure to click on any one of them. And if you want to apply it, you have to select. And obviously you don't have to select only one. You can select multiple of them at the same time. Maybe just in case I want to use this and also this at the same time. If I just hit on enter or insert, it's going to download all of the pictures and it's going to just basically apply it onto my workspace so that I can fiddle through it and I can use it anytime I want to. And I'll also be able to organize it on which page I want, which slide I want, which orientation or alignment to use. You can see an error occurred. There we go. So we have two of these. I can also apply another one, but it's just going to take a bit of time. Okay. So there we go. We have both of these icons, and you can see we just selected on one of these icons and it has taken us to graphics format. So I'm going to show you everything or every customizations that you need to know. Now, the next option which we have over here is the 3D models. Well, this is the only one feature which is going to take up a lot of your rendering spaces on your memory, but it's not that high quality, so you don't have to worry about it. If you have like even a lower end, a higher end, or a medium end PC, it's going to work smoothly, but it might just stutter a bit on a lower end PC, but you don't have to worry because obviously you'll be able to check them out. So one thing you're going to do is go off the 3D models. You can also click on over here. It's also going to open up the same panel. You can also click on over like 3D models like arrow, and it will also open up the same interface. Now you can see when you click on this arrow over here, it allows you to use models either from your device or either from the 3D stock models. So whichever one you prefer, you can just select them and then you will be able to upload it. So one thing what I want to do is that as I don't have any 3D elements on my device, and obviously you'll be able to download it online, but I would just use one of the stock 3D models of how you'll be able to use it. And if you want to download any, you can just go online and search for 3D online models for PowerPoint, and you'll be able to download whichever one you prefer. Just make sure to check the ones which are royalty free because it's going to be a lot more convenient for your later on. Okay, so I'm going to wait for a bit until the panel opens up. So basically after it opens up, this is how it should look like. So there are also like couple of catalogs from where you'll be able to select from. And there are basically two types of 3D models that you will find out. One is animated and the other one is not. So the icons which you see over here running, a guy running, those type of models are going to be animated, and the rest of the ones are not going to be animated. So let's show you off the difference between them. So from here, you'll be able to select whichever one you prefer, such as maybe I want something animated education. So there we go. I'm going to click on that and I'm going to wait for a bit until it shows up on my screen. There we go. So from here, what I want to use is maybe this one, and you'll be able to use two at the same time. So I'm going to download both of them. I'm going to click on insert and then I'm going to wait until these two have been downloaded on my device and into my workspace. And you'll also be able to customize it. You will also be able to open up another new ribbon for only 3D models. So let's wait for a bit until it shows up on my screen, and then we're going to start off customizing all of them. And the rest of the things what we have are smart art and also chart. And after both of these are done, we're going to go off to formatting each and every one of these elements inside of our illustrations menu. We have both of the elements. I'm going to take this over here, and you can see that we'll be able to rotate it in all degrees to check out the 3D model. Okay. Now, another thing is that you can see over here, this is an animated 3D model. You will also be able to rotate it in all degrees, back, front, top, bottom, everything. And another thing is that you can see that this is animated. So this is basically kind of like live, but you will be able to stop it and you'll be able to check out from all angles. Okay. You can play it too. And you can also play it inside of your presentation mode. So if we go off the presentation mode, you can see this is how it looks like. There we go. This is still moving. Okay. So this is how it basically works. So we're done with our 3D models. So you'll be able to use whichever 3D model you want into your workspace. Now, the next thing, what we're going to learn over here is going to be the smart art. Smart art is also a kind of, let's say, a listed order or a bulletin board. something like that. But it just looks a lot more better because it is more organized and you can also put more elements inside of it. So if I click on smart art, you can see there's like a couple of categories of smart art graphics, such as list, process, cycle, hierarchy, relationship. Then we have matrix, pyramid, picture, office.com, everything. So if I want to use something maybe out of cycle, and if I just put any one of them like them over here, click on that, and you will get a preview of it and press on OK. There we go. We have our smart art graphic applied. Now what I can do is reduce the size just a bit more, and I'm going to take it over here. You'll be able to put in your text. Maybe I'm going to put in just text RT. This one I'm going to put in U, and this one I'm going to put in Z. Now, another method is that you can hit on enter over here, but it's not going to create another element for you to type in. One thing you can do to create an element is that go like click on this arrow, and right after T, just hit on enter. If I press on D, you can see there we go. We still do not have another element because this is limited to only 3 of them. So if you want to use the same method, what you have to do is put in something where you can increase or increment the number. So click on Smart Art, and I'm going to click on this, just all. You will be able to find all of them over here, but it is also going to be in a category or listed order. Press on OK. And if I just go off over here and after text, if I put in enter, it's going to create another element for me. And I'm going to cut this off. And there you go. We have another box. Hit on enter, another box. So it's just going to keep on incrementing as long as you on these two. So make sure to keep those things in mind. There we go. This is how you'll be able to create a smart art graphic. So I'm just going to keep this in this corner too. Now the next one, or the last one which remains, is the chart. If you want to create a chart or a statistic chart for you on your workspace, just click on chart. And there we go. We have our chart option. Another dialog box will open up on your screen. From here, you also have a couple of categories to select from. And even if you have like a downloaded chart, which you want to use, you can use your own templates. You'll be able to import it. You can manage the templates. Then you'll be able to use it, apply it onto your workspace. So maybe if I want sunburn, I can get a preview. Click on that. Press on OK. And obviously it's going to be applied over here. Another thing that you will check is that the Excel spreadsheet will open up onto your workspace. So from here, you'll be able to change your data. Maybe let's say instead of 14, I'm going to cut this off. I'm going to equal sum and add all of these, close up the parentheses, hit on enter, and that is the number. So if I cut this off, you can still see we have the exact data which we want to use. So there we go. This is how you'll be able to use, charts onto your workspace. Now let's go through each and every one of them of how you'll be able to customize it. Now this video is going to be quite long, so I would suggest you make sure not to skip anything. So let's start off with our shapes. When you click on any of these shapes, the shape format ribbon will open up. Now from here, you'll be able to insert shape, change the styles of your shape, apply word art styles, and the rest of the things are basically the common, which is going to be like, the same on each and every one element. So I'm going to be skipping those parts. So let's start off with inserting shapes. If I click on over here and if I click on over here, it's not going to change up anything. It's just going to create another element. Now, if I select both of them, and what if I want to merge them together? So I'm going to select both. And if I just go off the shape format, there we go. We have edit shapes, text box, and merge shapes. So first thing I'm going to start off with is merge shapes. Click on merge shapes and you'll be able to union them. You'll be able to combine them. You'll be able to create a fragment. You'll be able to create an intersect and even a subtract. So this is basically how it works, but none of them is going to be applied unless you click on any one. So if I just want to combine both of them together, this is how they would look like. So there we go. We have only one shape now, but this is how it looks like. Okay. So this is how you'll be able to actually merge shapes together. You can also use different shape elements to actually merge them or combine them or unite them together. Then we have is edit shape. If you want to edit the points of any shape, click on edit shape and click on edit points. So you can see now the points have turned into something like this. And from here, you'll be able to drag the points and create your own shape. There you go. This is how it should look like. So this is how you'll be able to edit any points in any shape. You will also be able to create new points. Let's click on this, edit shape, edit points. And I'm going to just click on over here. Let's say I'm going to click on edit shape again, edit points. There we go. So this is the shape which I want, so I'm going to keep it right over here. Now the next option is how you can replace the shape. If you just go off the edit shapes, you will have change shape option. Now click on any of the one which you want to replace it with. Let's say maybe I want this, and it will automatically be changed. Another thing that you can check over here is that we have a couple of yellow dots. Well, these points actually represents the circularness or the roundness of corners. So if I click on over here, if I drag it, you can see it is like, just reducing up this part. And you can also do the same thing over here, like increase or decrease. And in certain cases, you will be able to make it round too. If I hold on a shift, you'll be able to create a perfect shape. So basically, this is all I want. So I'm going to keep it just the way it is. So this is how you'll be able to edit your own shapes, change it, replace it, and also edit the points. Now the next option which remains are the shape styles. You'll be able to change the shape styles very easily just by clicking on any one of these options. So if I just zoom in, I'm going to zoom in just like this, and I'm going to select on any one of them, and it will basically change the shape style. And there are obviously other theme fills which you'll be able to apply, and you'll be able to create your own preset too. Okay, there we go. We have theme styles, and we also have presets. Okay, whichever one you prefer, just apply it and you're good to go. So this is the shape, or this is the preset which I want to use. So it has been applied. You'll be able to individually change the shape fill, whichever color you want with the eyedropper, any picture, gradient, or even a texture. Okay. You will also be able to apply high contrast on your shapes too. So maybe I want to use this. So I'm going to apply it and it has been applied. Now the next option which remains are the shape outlines. You can also apply any shape outline just like this. You can see the color is changing if I zoom in. There you go. You will be able to apply standard color, recent colors, different colors with the eyedropper, the weight, you can fix it up. You can also, let's say, change the sketched lines. You can also fix in the dashes. Obviously, you can also apply more dashes if you want to. You just have to fix it up yourself. This is going to take a bit more time. So I would just suggest you just use whichever one is available for you. The next option is shape effect. We have a couple of presets like bevels, shadows, reflection, glow, soft edges, and all. There you go. We have bevel over here. You can also apply them if you want to. You can also have 3D rotations. There we go. I'm just going to apply maybe this over here. This looks quite good. So basically, this is all that you need to know about, let's say, the shape format. And the rest of the ones are basically the same, like word art graphics, which I've already shown you. So all of them are basically the same. You can also fix in the width and height. So let's move on to our icons. The icon one is also basically the similar to, let's say, shape format. But another thing that you will find over here is that we have change graphic. So you'll be able to replace it with any graphic that you have on your device, even a photo or even an element or an animated GIF. You can take it from your device or stock images, online source, or from icons, whichever one you prefer. So if I just click on this device, just go off the download, and I'm going to use one of this. And it will replace it up with that image or even any object which you want to replace it with or anything that basically is compatible with PowerPoint. So the next option which we see over here on graphics format is convert to shape. You can convert any icon into shape. So if I just take this one and if I just go off the graphic format and if I just change it to convert to shape, it's going to convert it to a shape. There we go. And you can also see that there are a couple of elements that are basically, let's say, individual. So if I just go off over here, go down, and I'll be able to select any one of these elements and I can drag them out because rest or all of these things have turned into a shape. So I'll be able to customize it however I want. You can also ungroup all of the elements that you have over here. So you just have to click on it, go off to arrange or maybe even align. Let's go off the shape format. And if I just go off to group over here and ungroup them, now all of them are individual. There we go. But I'm going to press on Control Z to undo the process and I'm going to keep them as a group. So go off the shape format again. I'm going to click on this. I'm going to press on Control Z again and I'm going to keep them as graphics. So go off the graphic format. Another thing you can see over here. Okay, this is basically the same. So there we go. We have also a couple of graphic styles which we can apply. Well, this is also going to save up a bit of time and whichever effect you want. If you don't find it over here, obviously you have the individual method such as graphic fill. Then we have like graphic outline and you can also fix in the graphic effects if you want to. So maybe I want to use any 3D graphic over here. So I'm going to apply this over here. Let's just apply one of these. There we go. It has been applied. You can do the same thing on this one. Let's go off the graphic effect. There we go. I'm going to apply a bit of shadow and it looks quite better. You can also apply two of them at the same time. Go off the effect, go off the shadow, and I'm going to apply a bit of shadow over here. Okay. So this is how it works. I'm also going to be applying a bit of shadow on this. There we go. We have reflection. Now, the next option or the next thing that we need to customize is going to be our 3D model. Now, when you click on any 3D model, you will see the 3D model ribbon will open up. From here, you have 3D models. From here, you'll be able to insert any 3D model from your device or even from the stock images of Microsoft PowerPoint. And you can also reset the 3D model whenever you want to. So what if I just, condense the size over here? I want to rotate it a bit. And if I want to reset the whole thing, I can just reset 3D model, reset it. And if I just reset 3D model and size, it will just turn back to how it was on default. Okay, so this is how it works. And there are a couple of angles which you'll be able to select from. Maybe I want to see this angle. Maybe I want to see this angle, or maybe even this angle. So you will basically find out different angles of this and you'll be able to rotate it anytime you want to. Well, except for this, you don't have anything else. You can just pan and zoom. You can apply a bit of pan and zoom over here. You can zoom in using this button over here. You can zoom in. You can see the quality. You can zoom out anytime you want to and keep it according to your wish or your desire. You can also fix in the width and also the height. There you go, just like this. You can also bring them forward and backward just like other objects inside of your workspace. Now, when you click on an animated 3D model, what you can see inside of 3D models, we have Play 3D. There are a couple of scenes which you'll be able to select from. Let's say maybe none. I don't want to see any of these previews of moving or live 3D models. I can also check on, let's say, scene 1. We can see this is scene 1. There we go. We have scene 2. Then we have different scenes, scene 3. And we also have scene 4. So this is how it should look like. Another thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce the size just a bit. There we go. So these are the scenes which you can check out, and we can also pause it anytime we want to. It is basically the same one as this. And the rest of the ones are same, and we can also check out different angles. There we go. Let's say I'm going to be using this one just in case. And if I play this, this is how it should look like. I can change different angles while this is actually moving. You can see this is how it works. So I'm going to pause it off now because we are almost done. Now the next option which remains are, let's say, the chart and also the smart art. So if I click on the smart art graphic, which we have, you'll be able to apply text just like I've told you. Now it will open up two more ribbons. One is smart art design and one is format. So format is basically the same. So I'm just going to click on over here and I'm going to type in a couple of text. I'm just going to hit on enter. There we go. We have a couple of these shapes over here. What you can do to customize it is go off the smart art design. You can add shapes if you want to, just like this. You can also add shape before or after, whichever one you prefer. And you can add bullets inside too, such as, enter bullets. You can also promote it if you want to. You can also demote it if you want to. You can move it to the right to left and left to right. You can move up and down at the same time. So these are the create graphic option, and we also have layout option. So you can select all of these and you can fix in the layouts if you want to, but it's just going to require one of a special type of listed order, which you can actually fix in the layout of. And you can also change the layout, like replace it totally just by using these options. You can get a preview of each and every one of them. So maybe I want to use this, or maybe I want to use this, or maybe I want to use this. Whichever one you prefer, just apply it, check out a preview, and just press on it. And there we go. It has been replaced. And obviously there's like a lot of these. And you can also apply more layouts. It's just going to take you off directly into the smart art graphic listed order. And from here, you can select the category or whichever list you want to use. The next option is changing the color. You can change the color of your list. There are a couple of accents which you'll be able to use, even multicolor or maybe even a solid singular color. So just in case, I'm going to be using this to make it look a lot more colorful. And obviously there are a couple of smart art styles too. So from here, you'll be able to navigate it and open up the whole interface. There we go. We have a couple of presets from where we'll be able to select. Best match are these. So I'm going to select any one of these. There we go. Looks quite good. Maybe this one. Okay, looks really good. Okay. So this is how you'll be able to change the smart art styles. And you can also reset the graphic. You can also convert it into text directly. Or you can press on Ctrl Z to undo the process, go off the design, and you can also convert it to shape. So all of these has basically turned into a shape, but you'll be able to put in your text. Okay, so this is how it works, but I'm going to keep that as a smart art design. So we are basically done on smart art design. So let's get off to format. In format, you'll be able to change the shape directly. Maybe I want to use this. It will just change the shape directly. Maybe on this one, what I want to do is go off over here and I want to turn it into circle. It will turn into the circle or oval shaped. Then we have is larger. You can make sure to keep it larger. You can also keep it smaller if you want to. And you can also edit in 2D if you want to. But you obviously need to have a 2D element first. Then we have is the shape styles. You can apply any shape styles, whichever one you want, just like you've seen on shape design or shape format. Then we also have a couple of other options like such as shape fill, shape outline, and shape effects, which are basically the same. So I'm going to be skipping that. And we also have smart like word art styles, text fill, text outline, text effects, alt text, send backward forward, arrangements, and also the sizes of height and width. So we are also done with our smart art graphic. Now the last one which remains are the chart design. So if we go off the chart design, the first option which we see over here is the chart layouts. Here we can add chart elements such as chart title. I'm going to go up. We have none over here. We can also above chart, and we can also apply like centered overlay. We also have more title options such as above or overlay. Cut this off. Now the next option which remains is the data labels. You can also remove them and keep them centered, or you can have more options such as values, such as series name. You can turn them off and on anytime you want to. So I'm going to keep the value name and category name, and separator should be comma. So I'm going to keep this a comma or maybe even a semicolon. You can also see the numbers. We have general. We also have numbers over here. You can apply numbers in different formats. I'm going to keep general for now. You can also cut this off, or you can add different formats of numbers or details if you want to. You can go off the text option, fixing the text fill, gradient fill, We also have pattern fill if you want to. There we go. We have a couple of patterns. We have different foreground color, different background color, which we can apply. This is how it should look like. Okay. So we are good to go. I'm going to cut this off. And the next option which remains over here is the legends. You can fix in the legends from the left, top, left, bottom, or right. You can also apply none if you want to. So I'm going to keep none, but I just want maybe right over here. So it just looks a lot more better. The next thing, what we're going to do is over here is the quick layout. You can also fix in different layout options. Well, these are basically already applied or already applied presets or changes or different organizations. So you can also apply them whenever you want to. Then we have is chart styles. You'll be able to apply different type of chart styles if you want to. And it's going to save up a bit of time, okay? So you don't have to customize it on your own. Let's go off the 3D model again, and there we go. I'm going to go off to chart design first. The next option which we see over here are the select data. You can also select data inside of your Microsoft Excel spreadsheet. You can change them anytime you want. Okay, so the next option which we see, I'm going to cut this off. We don't need it anymore. So basically, you just have to turn this off. You can also fix it up if you want to, but I would suggest you not to fiddle with it and customize it inside of spreadsheet. It's going to save up a lot more time, and it's going to also make it or keep it very simple. Then we have a select data. You can select data over here, edit data just like this over here, or you can also edit the data in Excel. It will open up the whole interface and you will be able to work along with it. Well, it is very convenient when you are working with a lot of formulas. So I would suggest you just open up spreadsheet or Excel and then work along with it. Then we have its refresh data, which is basically not available right now because we have already put in our data. And you can also change the chart type, just replace it directly. So maybe I want to use this. I'm going to press on OK and it will be replaced. I'm going to change it back into something else. Maybe I want a bit of mapping or maybe a bit of stocks. Okay, this is not available right now. So I'm going to use histogram or maybe just a line. Press on OK. And there we go. It looks how it's supposed to look like. So we're almost done on chart design. So let's get off to format. Inside of format, you will find out the current selection, insert shapes, shape styles, and all of them. Here, let's start off with the chart area. You can fix in with chart title, select whichever one you want to fix. It will just select it up and you'll be able to change, let's say, whatever you want. We have format selection. You can also format it with different colors, solid fills, pictures, or maybe even patterns, whichever one you prefer. I'm just going to keep no fill because I don't want it to be more disorganized. And then we can also reset the match or reset to match the style, whichever one you prefer, but it is already matched up to style. So I'm not going to be applying any customizations. So we have also insert shapes. You can also apply shapes inside of your, let's say, whole chart. Let's go off the format again. And we also have change shapes, shape styles, different shape fills, outlines, word arts. Well, all of them are basically the same. So I would just suggest you, after reaching this level or reaching this state, just fiddle through these options, fiddle through the interface, check it out, whichever one is comfortable for you, okay? And how you'll be able to customize it on your own. So we're almost done with everything about the illustration. Now, the last one which remains are the links and comments. So let's apply new slides. There we go. We're going to finish it fast. So if you want to apply any links, you can click on zoom, summary zoom. You can zoom in, let's say maybe 1, 2, 3. And if I click on insert, it's going to create this type of link for me to check out each and every one of them. So I can also open them up and check it out on my own. So I'm just going to turn them off. One of them, I can remove it. You can also get it back just by pressing on Control Z. So there we go. We have zoom, and we also can apply section zoom. Let's say maybe I want to use this section, and this section all together. And we can also apply just like this. So it will just basically turn all of these slides into a PNG or a JPG. So you can use it directly into one page. Then we have a slide zoom. You can also apply slide zooms too. So if I just apply slide zooms, insert, you'll be able to open up the presentation mode, and you can also still check them out. Okay. So this is how the Zoom works. Now, if I want to use links, I'll be able to apply links. Now, there are two types of links which you can apply. One is hyperlink and one is from the photo. Now, one thing what I want to do is if I click on this and if I just go off the link, maybe I'm just going to apply a text over here. Select the text, go off the link. Now, one thing what I want to do is existing page. So I'm going to open up my browser. And just in case, I'm going to go off the Wikipedia. So I'm going to go off the wikipedia.org. What I'm going to do is take the link, Control C, and I'm going to go off the web page. There we go. Text to display, login, and the address. There we go. If I press on OK, this has turned into a link. So there we go. If I double click on it, or if I just press on Control and then click on it, it will just open up the browser. Now, another thing what you can do is I'm going to cut this off. Let's say I'm going to remove the link. Now I'm going to do is going to be place in this document. So what I want to do is I'm going to apply slide 4 as the link. So I'm going to press on OK. And now this link will just basically take me to slide 4. There we go. Now, even if we are on presentation mode, if I click on this, it will take me directly into slide 4. So this is basically how there are two types of these links which you'll be able to apply and you'll be able to work with it. Okay, so I'm going to click on this again, link, and there are a couple of options which you'll be able to create, links to directly into the directory or maybe even email addresses. Then we have this action, which is basically going to help you to fix out the links or fix out, let's say, triggers, which is going to basically run a program or run a macro or maybe an object. So this is a bit complicated, but I would suggest you just, try it out on your own. Check it out if it is comfortable for you or convenient for you, and then move on to the next one. We have mouse over or mouse click, what you want your mouse click to do. You can apply hyperlink to next slide or maybe even run a program. You can also run a macro if you want to. But I'm going to keep it on none and press on OK because I don't want any trigger to work on this text. The last option or the last thing what we need to learn is about the comments. If you want to apply any comments before passing your work off to someone else so that someone can get out the info from that comment, you can apply a comment over here. Now, not only this, if you are working on the newest version of Microsoft Office Suite, you will also be able to have a conversation while working simultaneously with another person on the same file. So this is why comments are very important. So thank you for watching this video up till the very end and hope you understood about everything in this class. If you have any confusion or any question about any part of this lesson, feel free to ask me anytime. I'm always there to help you out. So without any further ado, let's move on to our next class of PowerPoint presentation.